Let's take a look at how we can return values like a king. So first we want to set a variable, and on this variable we would like to be able to read the value from the value. And we want to know if this method has succeeded or it has failed. So we want to have some logic that tells if something went successful. And we need to do it in something easy to use and elegant way. So the solution that I've been looking into is using a struct. So here we create a struct and we called it just the name return value, and the struct takes a generic. Here it is the struct contains of the value, then it will tell you if it was successful or not uh, with the value, and if there are some error, if there is an error like an exception, you can set that also. So um, when we go down and use this return value, we can use it down here. Here we have some functions. We have 3 functions, and the return value we can actually go and define because it's a generic. Should we return an integer or a double, or should we return, let's say we had a class that's called person, we could define that also. But here I just have an int, and there's the question mark, so we can also see if it's an int or a null. So let's go look at this addition here. So return, in the beginning we just set a value where we can return a value. We can set the value to the two, that is addition together, and we return the value. This is like the easy stuff. So let's look at the more common one that we use every day scenario, is that we have a return, something we want to return here, and we have defined here that the return value is a double. So we want to divide x with y, and we set the value here. But if something goes wrong in our try catch, we can set the error. The error is just called e here, and we can set the error here, and then we can return the object. So there is a good thing to see here is that in our divide here, or divide method, we said 5 divided by 0, but you can't divide by 0, so you get a division by 0 exception, and that will be set in this return value object. If we go up, look at what happens when we set an exception here. We just told that, okay, we divided by 0 down here. We get an error. We want to set the error to e. So we go up here, and when we set it, the error will be equal the value that is being set, and it will set success to false. So we don't need to set the success at all. It happens automatically there. What happens when we set the value? If something goes good, well, then we have the value up here, and it will set success to true. And if we in this struct ask for failed, it will just take the opposite of success. So these two are actually set automatically. So what is a good thing about this is that we can return any value or any type of value we want, and we will get with this struct object that takes a generic type, we can return anything we want, and we can always check the status if it went good or bad in the methods. So here is just another example where there is a random number. We don't know if it returns an integer or a null, and we just take a number between 1 and 10. And if the number is below 5, then the value is 1, else the value will be null. And we could add here also that if it is null, then we could just override the return success to be false. And you're thinking, yeah, why didn't you just make some extra logic that checked if it was set to null, that then it will set automatically. Of course, this is just the beginning. We can always expand on this. Maybe also this exception should be a array or a list of exceptions, but this is just the basic of it. So now we have a good flow to check if something goes wrong or it goes successful, and we can check also, we can access the exceptions that happen also. So here we have divide dot error, and we can see and start to expect what kind of um, stuff that goes wrong in our in our in our logic here. I think that was just about it. Is there anything I forgot? I don't think so. Yep, have a great day. Goodbye.